CM Punk has addressed the possibility of a WWE return at Survivor Series, but first AEW and WWE have interest in this major upcoming free agent. Over the past several years, Will Ospreay has made a name for himself as one of the most impressive in-ring performers in wrestling today, with his recent decision to tone down on his high-flying antics, allowing him to tighten up the other aspects of his game that some felt may have been lacking. Today, Ospreay finds himself as the reigning IWGP United States champion over in New Japan Pro-Wrestling, although it seems his days in the promotion could be coming to an end. In a report from Fightful Select this week, details were given on Will's expiring NJPW contract, as well as interest in his signature from elsewhere in the wrestling world. The report notes that Ospreay has come to an understanding that his next deal is the most important of his career and has hired longtime wrestling agent Barry Bloom, known for his ruthless negotiations, to capitalize on the moment and to get the best deal on the table. Ospreay is said to have been working with Bloom since the spring, with both WWE and AEW becoming aware of this by August. Whilst Ospreay has expressed an interest in sticking around in New Japan earlier this year, it was revealed in the Fightful report that he's since opened up his options come February 2024, when his current deal comes to an end. Adding to this, Will would speak with Metro this week to note that he's open to moving to the United States once his decision has been made, something he'd previously ruled out in the past, and Will would say, we have spoken about it more. I'm now open to the idea of stretching myself out that little bit more. As age has become more apparent to me and my body is hurting more and more, I'm open to all avenues. I've had a lot of talks with my friends about this, and I've spoken to the missus. Although we've spent so much money on our new kitchen, we are open to the idea of relocating to the United States. It's on the table, that's all I can really say. That means I am open to all options going forward. As a final note, Dave Meltzer would take to Wrestling Observer Radio last night to confirm that WWE are very interested in signing Will Ospreay, with the wrestler said to be open to listening to their offer. It appears that 2024 is set to become a fascinating year when it comes to contracts and the free agency market, with a big roster reshuffle potentially on the cards. And speaking of contracts, we have the latest on the expiring deal of a former WWE champion. Another star whose current contract is known to be coming to an end is Drew McIntyre, who is yet to agree to a new contract with WWE, despite there being an offer on the table. Drew's original deal was set to expire at the end of 2023, however, it's now said to have been extended through to April due to recent injuries that have kept him out of action. With that said, Dave Meltzer would speak on Wrestling Observer Radio about the situation last night, revealing that he believes a new deal hasn't been agreed to, adding that the two sides are apart on money, and he would note, I do not believe he's re-signed. His contract was to expire at the end of the year, but because of all the injury time accrued, it's through April. It's basically a numbers game. It's not like he's a guy who's looking to leave. It's just a numbers game. He wants a certain number, and they did not offer that certain number. Despite the lack of agreement, Drew McIntyre is currently booked to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at the upcoming WWE Crown Jewel event on November 4, with him still positioned as a key part of Monday Night Raw, at least for now. And next, a big match has been added to WWE Crown Jewel. As mentioned, WWE will host the Crown Jewel event on November 4th, a show that will go down in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia from the Mohammed Abdu Arena. Heading into last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, 4 matches have been confirmed for the card, with one more being made official last night on the Red brand. Finn Balor and Damian Priest of Judgment Day would open up the show before they would be interrupted by Cody Rhodes, somebody who the faction's been feuding with as of late. A back and forth verbal contest would then lead to an agreement that Rhodes and Priest would go one-on-one at Crown Jewel next month. That wasn't the end of the segment, however, as aspiring Judgment Day member JD McDonough would join an attack on Cody, leaving the American Nightmare outnumbered, with a save from Jey Uso not being enough to prevent Rhodes' ankle being smashed between the steel steps and a steel chair. The night would then be main evented by a match between Jey Uso and Damian Priest, with interference from Finn Balor, allowing Mr. Money in the Bank to secure a big win, leading to Judgment Day about to launch another attack, this time on Jey Uso. However, Cody Rhodes would limp his way out to the arena to fight off both men, landing a steel chair shot on his upcoming opponent in the process. Next up, a second-generation wrestler has confirmed their AEW departure. Last week, eagle-eyed fans would notice that Brock Anderson, son of Arn Anderson, had been removed from the All Elite Wrestling website roster page, leading to speculation on if his time with the company was over. This rumor would then be followed up on by Fightful Select, who were able to confirm that Anderson's deal with AEW had come to an end. Taking to X last night, Brock would address the news, with him seemingly confirming that he'll be sticking around in pro wrestling, and he would write, "On to the next one. To those that have supported me and helped me, thank you. To my detractors, that's your right to an opinion. All I can do, to quote Dustin Rhodes, is keep stepping. On to the next chapter. #pro wrestling." It's unclear what's next for Anderson in the squared circle, although his AEW departure will allow him to hopefully build up a busy schedule on the independents, where he can gain some valuable experience. And next, Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes are set to reunite. The history between Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega goes all the way back to December 2016, this when the American Nightmare joined the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro-Wrestling. Since then, the two men have been on a roller coaster ride, becoming members of the Elite, the core group that helped form All Elite Wrestling. Since then, of course, Cody and Kenny have gone their separate ways, even before Rhodes has jumped to WWE, with them now finding themselves on different sides of the wrestling world entirely. With that said, the two are now set to enter the same universe yet again, as it's been revealed that the former Elite stablemates will both be involved in the upcoming Netflix series Captain Laserhawk: A Blood Dragon Remix, which is an anime-inspired series that will soon hit the streaming service. Cody's involvement was announced last month, with Kenny taking to X today to confirm that he too is involved in the project, and he would write, "If the overwhelming positive reviews aren't enough, take it from me that Captain Laserhawk on Netflix is a heck of a fun ride, not an attempt at self-promotion whatsoever. You may see one of my old friends make an appearance too." But will you be checking out Captain Laserhawk on Netflix in order to see Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes reunite? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, CM Punk has directly addressed the possible WWE return at Survivor Series. This past weekend, there was much talk on if current free agent CM Punk was set to appear at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view in Chicago. This after it was recently revealed that an offer was on the table from the promotion. As we know, Punk was nowhere to be seen on or off screen at the show. However, he has since been spotted backstage at this past weekend's Impact television tapings. According to House of Wrestling, Punk would be in attendance the following night at the Cicero Stadium, and Nick Hausman would write, House of Wrestling has confirmed that while Punk was not at Bound for Glory, he did attend the Impact Wrestling on Access TV tapings that following day, also at Cicero Stadium. We're told that the Second City Savior showed up just before the tapings began, around 6:30 PM CST, and was taken to the locker room area. Punk attended an Impact event this past April that created a lot of attention, as he was still off AEW TV following his all-out media scrum. This time, to avoid a scene, he showed up closer to bell time, and due to the sun setting earlier this time of year, arrived while it was dark outside. The report adds that Punk was seen talking to anyone that wanted time with him, including key Impact talent. It was noted that whilst Punk's friend Ace Steel was working the tapings as a producer, the two weren't seen spending too much time together due to the latter doing his job, although it's believed that Steel too was warmly received backstage and seemed very happy to be back to work. Fightful Select would provide follow-up reports on the matter, revealing what they know about Punk's attendance, as well as the possibility of him signing for Impact or the soon-to-be TNA Wrestling in the future. They claim that the belief within the company is that Punk's signing would be a long shot, although they are of course open to it, adding that his recent presence at the Chicago tapings was described as very helpful. Those close to Punk are of the belief that, at least as of a few weeks ago, he is not interested in signing with Impact, but also said that if he woke up one day and just decided he wanted to wrestle Josh Alexander or the Motor City Machine Guns, he likely could if he wanted to, with another person in touch with Punk saying he would under the right circumstances. One major stumbling block would of course be the salary it would take to sign him, as his AEW deal was 15 to 20 times the amount top Impact wrestlers are earning. And finally, Ibu of Wrestle Purist would speak on the Wrestle Purist Worldwide podcast last night to reveal even more information about Punk's Impact visit, and he would say that he was seen hanging out with people backstage, and it said that Punk spoke to some top talents such as Will Ospreay, Josh Alexander and Frankie Kazarian. on. He's said to not have stuck around for too long as he wanted to get back home to Larry the dog, but was treated well by people there, and that Impact really want to sign him. Punk would even be asked about the possibility of a WWE return at Survivor Series in Chicago next month, with him replying, "Who knows what happens with anything," with even Punk himself remaining tight-lipped about the situation, as well as his future in wrestling as a whole. And before you go, make sure you check out the 12 most obscure WWE appearances from AEW wrestlers.